So if you're on that eastern edge of Lake Jocassee, I believe that's where that possible area of rotation is. So if you're watching us in far northern Oconee County and you're just getting the alert on your phone or via the WYFF app of a tornado warning, that's where the area of rotation is. So again, if we clear that off and zoom it out a little bit more, this is the area that we're talking about. So we're far to the north of 6 Mile. We're actually to the north of State Highway 11, north of Foothills Parkway. I believe that right, I'll highlight it again for you, that right there. That's that little area of embedded rotation. So if you're north of 6 Mile and you're north of the Foothills Parkway up towards State Highway 11, that's where you want to get in your safe spot for sure. Even if you're in, you know, if you're just north of Salem, probably a good idea to head to your safe spot as well. We've got a tornado warning that's going to be in effect until, let's see if I can pull it up here. Switching over to Live Super Doppler 4. So that's the area of concern right there. Again, so I'll pull that up for you real quick. Tornado warning in effect until 7:30 a.m. So it's right near Lake Jocassee. On that eastern edge of Lake Jocassee is that area that we're most concerned with at this point. So it's moving pretty fast. This whole squall line's moving pretty fast, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. So again, this is going to be for southeastern Transylvania County, far northern Pickens, and far northern Oconee counties, where we've got that tornado warning in effect until 7:30 a.m. Let me do a quick reset here for everybody just tuning in. We know we've probably got a lot of folks that are tuning in all at the same time. So if you're just tuning in, here's the situation. We've got this big squall line that's coming in from the west. On that northern edge of the squall line, it's possible that we have some embedded rotation with it. So for everybody who's watching us in Lake Hartwell, I know the wind is really ramping up right now down towards Clemson. It's about to ramp up a lot towards Anderson. I've got it in Live Super Doppler 4 alert mode. We've got it in severe weather mode, so we're getting scans every 30 seconds here, so we can get a better idea of where exactly the most dangerous parts of the storms are. And where we have the tornado warning for some possible embedded rotation is going to be in the northern sections of Pickens County and the northern sections of Oconee County. So if you're watching us in Salem, it's probably a good idea to just head to your safe spot just to be safe. Near Eastatoe, near Nimmons, right near State Highway or U.S. Highway 178 up towards Rocky Bottom. Especially for folks in Rocky Bottom, this is going to be coming close to you. Probably a good idea to head to your safe spot as well. Again, I want to get the message out on social media for everybody who's just tuning in. We've got a tornado warning in effect for northern Pickens County, northern Oconee counties. So let me switch it back over for you real quick. Here's what we've got. I'll put that up on the screen for you right there. So if you're watching us in the northern section of Oconee County, northern section of Pickens County, head to your safe spot right now, just to be safe.
Griffin, has there been any indication of this making landfall, touching land, or has it just so far been Doppler indicated rotation in the clouds?
So at this point, yes, it's just been Doppler indicated rotation. That just means that we have a little bit of indication that this could produce a tornado. If I switch over to one way we can often detect whether or not we actually have something is we have something called correlation coefficient on radar. Anytime that we have possible debris being thrown around, we would see a little blue dot on the screen that would be co-located with where the rotation is, and we're not seeing that. So that's a good sign that we just have, at this point, a little possible couplet along the line of storms. And where we have possibly a little embedded rotation is right about there. So this is going to be north of 6 Mile, north of State Highway 133. There's State Highway 11, which is right there. That's Foothills Parkway. So many of you are familiar with that if you're kind of driving up towards Table Rock. If you're kind of use that as your barrier, where the possible tornado would be is just north of that. So if you look over here, that is, I'll put it on the screen for you there. That's Lake Jocassee right there. So right on the eastern edge of Lake Jocassee. Cassie is where we had that embedded rotation. We actually just got a new scan too, so it looks like that area is now moving over State Highway 178. This is right where the hills begin, right? So as you get up towards, Table Rock and Pinnacle Mountain, places like that, right as you start getting into the escarpment is where we have some possible embedded rotation there. So I'll pull that up for you one more time where we have the warning in effect. Everywhere else south of here, if you're watching us in Clemson, luckily, at least at this point, any possible rotation is going to be passing north of you. Now we got a lot of folks probably tuning in Pickens County, in Oconee County. Everything farther south of here is just straight line winds. Not to say that you shouldn't take it seriously, because we've got winds on the order of 50 to 60 miles per hour, straight line winds within the squall line as it's coming in. But the most dangerous part of the storm is farther north of there, where we have some possible embedded rotation along that northern edge of the line. So again, if you're watching us in Rocky Bottom in particular, very good idea to head to an interior room away from doors and windows. You want to put as many walls between you and the exterior as possible.
Downstairs is always better than upstairs.
That's correct.
So a safe room in your home would be one without windows and doors. Many times for folks it would be a bathroom, a laundry room, somewhere that a smaller is better than a big room. But again, downstairs is always the best advice. The National Weather Service tracks these lines of thunderstorms as they make their way across the country. The entire state of South Carolina is under a tornado watch, but this has been the first tornado warning that has been issued by the National Weather Service since early this morning. So as this line of showers and thunderstorms marches to the east across the area, we're keeping an eye on it. And again, this has been the first time that an actual rotation in the cloud has been picked up by the National Weather Service Doppler, and therefore this tornado warning issued until 7:30 this morning. All these thunderstorms have been traveling very quickly across the state of Georgia and now into South Carolina. We're talking about a line of thunderstorms traveling about 50, 60 miles an hour, moving very quickly across the state of Georgia, now into South Carolina. And again, these individual thunderstorm cells can have strong gusty winds, 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds can be generated. And of course, those can take down tree limbs and do damage as well. So drive carefully if you've got any kind of early morning travel plans. Look out for debris in roads. But again, the tornado warning is impacting parts of Oconee County and Pickens County up into the foothills of North Carolina. That red box showing up on the screen from just east of Salem to Brevard is where that tornado warning has been extended to.
That's right, Dale. And again, this is something where it's radar indicated rotation. We don't have visual confirmation or debris on radar at this point. So that's the good news, is that we've seen some areas along the line where it's possible we've had some, little kinks in the line is what they're referred to. But at this point, we don't have any clear indication that something is down. I've been checking, this is our debris product, what's called the correlation coefficient, and we don't have any clear indication that we have debris that's being thrown around by a possible tornado. But still, it's a situation where you want to stay sheltered just to be safe. Weather Service not taking any chances, of course. So again, if you're in at least the good news is for folks in Oconee County, it looks like they've taken out most of the area that was in Oconee County out of the warning. So this is mostly, we're talking about far northern Pickens County, north of downtown Pickens. Luckily, if you're in Pickens, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but you're not under a tornado warning. But the farther north you go, as you get up towards Rocky Bottom, up towards Rossman, Dunn's Rock, as we go up and over the hills into Transylvania County, these are the areas we're most concerned about possible trees or power lines that get knocked down from a possible tornado that could be embedded within the line.
A lot of people don't realize that when a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning is issued, in this case a tornado warning, that rotation within the cloud, we'd really have no idea when that funnel may make contact with ground. Sometimes it can travel for miles within the cloud and finally make a very damaging contact with the ground at a place down the path. So we have to give a pretty broad area a heads-up warning, because typically these storms are moving anywhere from 35 to 50 plus miles an hour across the terrain. Kind of like you're traveling to school in the morning, that kind of speed in your car. That's how fast these storms move across the landscape. So we have to warn people in advance in case that funnel cloud were to come down close to where they live. And so that's why there's this broad triangle that stretches out over several counties whenever we have a tornado warning issued. But again, until 7:30, that area highlighted in red under a tornado warning, and we're continuing to track this for you. You can see that broad area of gold and red on the map. That's that line of thunderstorms that throughout the morning has been moving very quickly across the southeast through Georgia, now into South Carolina and western North Carolina, bringing heavy downpours of rain, frequent lightning, and some strong gusty winds associated with it. Safe place in your home, always downstairs. A small room without windows and doors, better than a big open room. And should you find yourself experiencing the terrific winds of a tornado. Anything new, Griffin?
So I'm watching for any other updates from the Weather Service. Switching over to velocity for you. It's, again, a situation where we have a couple little areas along the line which could briefly spin up into a tornado, but it's not immediately obvious where that might be happening at this point. So it's still a situation where, yeah, we have some possible embedded rotation within the line, and you want to take it seriously. But still at this point, we don't have any debris that's getting thrown around, which is great. Still, though, stay in your shelters. If you're in far northern Oconee County up towards Rocky Bottom, anybody who lives, along State Highway or U.S. Highway 178 north of Foothills Parkway, this is right along the state line with South and North Carolina between Pickens County and Transylvania County. So if you're in Rossman, a good idea to just stay put. Don't go out in the roads if you can help it right now. The tornado warning continues until 7:30 a.m. And for just to do a quick reset for everybody who's just tuning in, we got a lot of folks that tuned in at different times. So we've got this line of storms that's been sweeping in from northeast Georgia over the last past few hours or so. Along the line, we've got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. Most of what we're seeing right now is just from straight line winds. That's the biggest concern at this point. And that line stretches from Elbert County up through Hart County, just past through Clemson. I'm sure folks in Clemson are probably getting a rude awakening at this point because with all the wind that's probably ongoing right now. The winds within this line are up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. On the northern edge of the line, there's at least a chance right now that we could get a brief spin-up tornado that develops, hence why we are in continuous coverage at this point. And there's a tornado warning for northern Pickens County and up into Transylvania County. This warning was issued about 10 minutes ago, and it was on the eastern edge of Lake Jocassee where we had some possible embedded rotation within the line. We can hear the rain coming down on top of the station right now. It's definitely starting to pick up here in Greenville. So again, if you're watching us in Rossman, if you're watching us in especially Rocky Bottom, I know that's a little tiny little community right before you go up and over into North Carolina. Stay in your shelters. I think that's the biggest community that's in the immediate path of where we could see some an embedded tornado within this storm. Switching over to the debris signature. It gets a little bit noisy as you get up into the hills, but still at this point I'm not seeing any clear indication that debris is being lofted, but still a situation you want to take seriously. Definitely don't want to take any chances with this. So interior room, away from doors and windows. If you've got a closet, if you've got a bathroom, preferably in the lowest floor, don't go upstairs. Make sure you go downstairs, lowest floor and away from doors and windows just to be safe, since we've got some embedded rotation that could be within this squall line that's starting to come in now.
Heavy downpours of rain, strong winds, frequent lightning associated with thunderstorms rumbling across the upstate into the Piedmont. So those areas that are highlighted in gold or yellow on your television screen are severe thunderstorm watch areas. And again, this has been the first tornado warning of the morning that has been issued by the National Weather Service, impacting areas from, as you can see, parts of Pickens County up into the foothills of North Carolina for another 10 minutes or another 9 minutes or so, still under under this tornado warning that's been issued till 7:30. This has been a very fast-moving system, and that's squall front right now as it makes its way to the east-northeast is traveling very quickly across the counties. So again, strong gusty winds, frequent lightning, and heavy downpours of rain will be associated with this line of showers and thunderstorms through the morning hours. We do see improving weather late morning into the afternoon, but again, this is a tornado warning still in effect for a while longer. It looks like they've sort of narrowed down the area once again, haven't they, Griffin?
Yes, they have. So Pickens County is no longer within the tornado warning, so that's some good news there. They've just trimmed the warning to where it's only for folks in Transylvania County where they're most concerned about possible embedded rotation. There's also a little sliver of northern Greenville County, that little northwestern edge of Greenville County, actually right on top of Table Rock and Caesar's Head. That's Table Rock Reservoir right there in the center part of the screen. So if you're up towards Cedar Mountain, up towards Dunn's Rock, and up near Rossman, that little southern edge of Transylvania County, that is where we have some possible embedded rotation. So within this part of our area, still a good idea to get to an interior room, away from doors and windows. Don't go out driving in the middle of this. It's the last thing that you want to do because we have a big line of storms that's coming in from the south. And just to zoom out real quick, this is a little small portion of what is a much larger line of storms that's marching its way through the area right now, kind of going from south to north here. This is right on top of Lake Hartwell right now. So where we don't have a tornado warning, it's not to say it's not a concern for you. We have severe thunderstorm warnings that are popping up all up and down the line of storms. And within the line, gusts have been up to around 50 to 60 miles per hour. But the most dangerous part of the storm is where we have some possible embedded rotation. So going from south to north here, the line itself is about to come up on downtown Anderson. As it stands right now, you can pull up the measuring tool here. So it's about 10 miles, 9 to 10 miles west of Anderson. And it's moving pretty fast. This is moving around 50 miles an hour. So as quick as it'll come through, it'll be gone in a hurry. It's already kind of starting to slow down a little bit towards Clemson. It's picking up a lot in Pendleton and in Central and right on top of 6 Mile right now. Luckily, when the warning was initially issued back towards Lake Jocassee, it has now been trimmed out of the warning. So the most immediate concern with possible embedded rotation with this is going to be in that far northwestern corner of Greenville County up towards Table Rock, and then as you go up and over into North Carolina towards Transylvania County. If you're in Rossman, stay sheltered. If you're near Dunn's Rock, stay sheltered. Anybody who's right near Cedar Mountain, as you go up and over 276, Cedar Mountain's a little town there. If you go off to the right like you're going to DuPont State Forests. Been up there many times. It's a good idea to stay sheltered there. Tiny little community there. So if you're anywhere along 276, Highway 64, Rossman, this whole area, stay sheltered just to be safe. Again, it's a situation where we have radar indicated rotation. That means that it's possible at any given point that we could have a little spin up that develops along the line. But it hasn't, we don't have any radar confirmed debris yet, or we don't have a storm confirmed spotter that's confirmed that there's a tornado down. It's just a situation where this could happen at any moment, but have your guard up just in case. Again, that warning continues until 7:30, and we're waiting on word from the Weather Service on whether or not they're going to issue any further warnings downstream. So we'll keep posted with that.
Griffin, expand the view just a little bit so we can see that line of thunderstorms, that area of gold and orange and red on the screen, red being the heaviest downpours of rain. We're not seeing the lightning strikes embedded in that we saw earlier, but it's moving very quickly with very heavy downpours of rain, strong gusty winds stretching, as you can see, from just north of Elberton, Lounsville, Abbeville getting some heavy downpours of rain, Clemson still getting getting heavy downpours, as you could see, all the way up to Cullowhee in northern Pickens County into western North Carolina. That line of heavy downpours of rain. And again, watch out for the wind that could have taken down debris that may be in the roads as well. So drive very carefully. Very foggy. Visibility is poor this morning over a good bit of the area. And we are seeing winds pick up 15, 20, some 30 mile per hour gusts across the upstate, with stronger gusts embedded near these thunderstorms. So the weather continues to be rocky for another hour or so. We should see improvement by late morning into the afternoon, and then things will definitely clear up later today. We still expect it to be a mild day, reaching into the 60s for the upstate and upper 50s for the mountains. So unusual temperatures for this time of the year. But again, still seeing that tornado warning on the screen for another couple of minutes, extended till 7:30 for parts of western North Carolina. And we'll see if the National Weather Service takes that any farther to the north here in the next few minutes as we continue to track this storm. Once again, thank you very much to Griffin Hardy, meteorologist Griffin Hardy, coming in on his day off to help cover the severe weather. And so we appreciate that very much.
So as you mentioned, Dale, warning only goes for a couple more minutes here. That huge box that just popped up on the screen there, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. So whether or not we have embedded rotation or not, these storms are still packing a punch, as they have all the way back to even as far back as Louisiana. We've been watching these storms since yesterday, and they've been producing. Well, here's the good news, is that this is happening right at dawn. That's normally when the atmosphere is at its most stable, when we have the least amount of heat to work with. Doesn't mean that these can't pack a punch, and they certainly are. We've got really strong straight line winds stretching from Coldwater up through Anderson County. Downtown Anderson, it's just a few minutes away from coming in. Got some really heavy rain just ahead of that line in North Lake. Central, you're really taking a punch right now with really strong straight line winds. But the most dangerous part of the storm is going to be up towards Transylvania County in that northwestern corner of Greenville County, where we have some possible embedded rotation with it. We first had this warning issued about 20 minutes ago, and it included over towards Oconee County and Pickens County. The line initially had signs of rotation when it was right near Lake Jocassee, so right about here. And then the line itself has moved. Well, the radar data, it gets a little noisy when you get up into the mountains, but the line itself is passing through that northern section of Greenville County and that southern section of Transylvania County, where we have some possible embedded rotation. So we're going to stick with it just a little bit longer, wait for this warning to be canceled. But for everyone just tuning in, we have severe thunderstorm warnings all up and down this line of storms as it's coming in. And we've got a tornado warning for Transylvania County that continues until 7:30 a.m. as well as can't discount that little sliver of Greenville County. That's the northwestern corner there, just north of Table Rock Reservoir. Not a very populated part of the area, but still, for folks that are watching in Dunn's Rock, for folks that are watching in Cedar Mountain, folks watching in Rossman, just south of Brevard, it's probably starting to get a little noisy up there, but for the most part, it's mostly just radar indicated rotation thus far. So we'll stick with this for just one more minute, and then we'll do a quick reset to just kind of give everybody an update on where we've been so far. So for everyone watching initially when this warning was issued for Oconee County and Pickens County, we probably had a lot of folks that were just tuning in. And it looks like for now the tornado warning has expired, so that's some great news. At this point, yeah, the line is coming in fast and hard with straight line winds, but at this point, no indication of any rotation embedded within the line. But that can change, and obviously if it does, we'll be here to watch it just in the event that it does.
That severe thunderstorm watch now has been extended from Hendersonville through Rutherfordton. east of Asheville. So as this system continues to march eastward, we're seeing those watches continue to be extended out ahead of it. So keep that in mind if you've got early morning travel plans. Best advice is wait a little while, let this calm down. But heavy downpours of rain, strong gusty winds, and even lightning associated with thunderstorms as they continue to march toward the east. We'll continue to watch this closely. Should any more warnings as far as tornadoes or severe thunderstorms be issued, we'll have that latest information for you. Stay with us.
News now. We've been following an officer-involved shooting in Greenville County. This is in the upstate. A man was shot and killed during an officer